Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Luis. This is Green Zebra Gardening. Just gonna go ahead and do some work today in the garden. I'm gonna walk through and I'm gonna show you what I'm planning on doing. The rest of the video might just be a time lapse. I'll probably stop in between just to kind of show you what I'm gonna be doing individually in this bed, just to kind of remind you and remind myself. But let me go ahead and show you what we got going on. Alright, and if I need to, I have to go back to this video to remember everything that I said I was gonna do. So this one, I'm probably just gonna trim off the bottom part of this. Yes, I'm gonna harvest all the flowers. They're freaking incredibly gorgeous. This weather has been amazing for it, even if we haven't been very happy with the weather, because we're ready to put in our spring and summer crops, at least most of it. Anyway, I'm gonna probably trim this back, that way it's not hanging off the side. I'm definitely gonna harvest the lettuce in that container. Potatoes are doing great. We have some containers here, but we have more over there. Obviously, we're going to harvest all the blooms out of here. We're probably going to clean out some of the stuff that's in here. But this one, I think I may just leave it on, because most of the plants in this bed look good, as well as this one. There might be some spaces in here where I might be able to tuck some stuff in. I'm thinking of growing some beets and maybe some radishes in there. We do have some cabbages back there. I'm going to leave those guys alone, because they look like they might be heading up. This one, we have really just a garlic in here, and I don't know if this is hardneck or softneck. It's one or the other, because I've got one, I think one variety of each. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in here. Might do some radishes and beets in here as well, although I think I only have like one packet of radish seeds. I might do some greens in here, I don't know. I have to see what I have. But these containers, I want to make them into like their own mini gardens, but the only problem is I don't want to put anything too tall in this, because if I do, in the summer the sun comes in from that way, it comes in this way, so then if I put anything too tall in here, it's going to literally block everything out in here. Which last year here I had a massive eggplant, which I might put in another eggplant back here, that way it doesn't block the front. Although it did give a nice like little mini microclimate back here for some grains and some like stuff that really can't take the heat. And look at that. Yeah, we're pulling that one. We have a borage. And the only one I have is the one in the other container we're going to show you in a minute. This is going to be my container where I'm going to be pulling stuff and dumping it in. I've never really had, I can't remember the last time I had shard bolt on me. It's been a while. I was thinking of saving some seeds from this, but shard is so easy to find, at least seeds for them, that I'm good with it. And then this is going to be the bin that's going to end up with all the stuff going into the compost bin. So, I'm going to dump that in there. In this bed, I think that's probably going to be it, because that cabbage, even though it doesn't look all that great, we're going to save the leaves for that. I'll probably pull it anyways, but I'll save the leaves. We have another cabbage over here. Some of these leaves, yeah, definitely need to go, because they're pretty eaten up. But overall, I think they're okay. And I think that's really it. I will go ahead and amend this bed, as I will with all the other beds, with the homemade compost. These cabbages will definitely leave alone. They look really good right now. This one, like I said, we're gonna probably put some beets, and I do have some tomato varieties from Cheryl over at my Brentwood Garden over on Instagram. She grows a lot of microdwarf small tomatoes, and so I might do some of those in there. And then I do have some taxi yellow determinate, I think they're just called bush tomatoes, from San Diego Seed Company. So I've got lots of plants of those, so I'm going to mix those in. Some of the ones from Cheryl, and then some of those taxi tomatoes. And then I do have some larger ones in there, but because these guys are taking up so much space, I'm not going to be quite ready for those. And they're not huge right now. They're not really ready to be transplanted. There's a couple of onions in here I might just harvest to get them out of the way. The kale is looking incredible. We just had a sandwich. It's a bagel with a cream cheese sandwich, or cream cheese with some chopped up kale and a fried egg. The kale is incredibly sweet, just because of the cooler weather we've been having so far, and so that's been helping. And here we have some bolting kale. So this plant I probably will harvest, just so we can have this in the freezer and Mom makes shakes, green shakes, green healthy shakes for her in the morning, some smoothies and whatnot. So this bed, I will take that out. I do have some calendula too, but nasturtiums. So I might trim this back a little, and this bed will probably get some plants today. There is a lettuce back there, and the one tiny spinach plant that actually survived this year, and I haven't harvested any off of it. This is a 30-gallon grow bag that I brought over from the previous garden. I originally filled to like the bottom third of this with just unfinished compost. The other 2/3 of it is stuff I've already sifted through. I put in here, but then what I ended up doing is, it was full. So what I ended up doing is I ended up topping off all the potato containers, even the ones down there. But the potatoes, as you can see, are doing freaking incredible. Some of them were growing a little slower, but like these three over here, and I think that's just the variety because they're blue or purple, and so that's why they're doing they're a little different. Okay, this one, let's get out from under there. This one looks incredible too. And these are good. That one I might actually top off with a little more. So yeah, some of these looks like the soil has gone down, so I might actually top them off with more of this. This is the kohlrabi. This is the one that I didn't get any harvest out of, but I'm going to chop these down, throw them in the compost. They're full of aphids, so I might just chop off the top portions, throw those in the garbage, and then the rest of them, everything else is going to go in there. We're definitely going to top this off, make sure that the Growoyas are filled in all the beds, and we're going to again do the same thing, plant in some of those dwarf tomatoes, maybe a couple root veggies, and just to give it a mix. I want to treat each container as its own garden, because then that way, if let's say like these aphids, they got to this one, this is a perfect example. The aphids haven't gotten to the other kohlrabi, although this is massive. It's probably going to go to seed as well because it didn't bulb up. So that way it doesn't get all the kohlrabi, or it doesn't get all the same plant. So I still have kohlrabi, just not this one. Although the leaves are still fine, we can clip those and eat those. Are cabbage flavored. The next bed, I might leave in this massive one. Oh, it's funny because it looks like it might be trying to bulb. Let me get that. See if it's trying to bulb up higher. It's just funny. I know it's probably not going to, but it's just funny. So these guys I might leave in because they don't have any aphid. I will clip off the plants, or the leaves rather, that look beat up. We have a nice little patch of parsley. We have a container here, but I guess I was trying to overwinter a pepper. Didn't do so well. And the borage is slowly coming down. So I've been clipping off the lower branches. And so this is probably just going to go to the garbage. That way it doesn't reseed. Although it's already done it on the other side, as you can tell. So this one I'm just going to trim back. And I'll probably just leave it because the bees are loving this. There's not any out here now. I'm guessing because it might be too cold. Next bed. That's definitely coming out. This one, like I said, I'll probably do the same thing as the other kohlrabi. And it's starting to sprinkle. And I'm going to go ahead and trim it out. This is some regular cabbage, and I will probably put some other plants in here. Take out the grass. This is an overwintered pepper. I think this is the one that Mom had in a container when I first moved over, or moved back, and it's held on for dear life. I will feed that definitely. So here we have another kohlrabi. This one has fully gone to seed, flower. So I'm going to go ahead and clip this out, dump that into the compost bed. This one's kind of coming off the edge, so I'm going to pull that portion of it out. I think this is arugula. It looks like arugula. And so that I might leave in there. It looks like it's going to seed, so I might clip the top. We got a few carrots in here. This one I might leave pretty much alone, except for a couple things coming off. We do have some water that saved in from the rains. So that I'm going to pour into one of the Oyas. This one I'm definitely clipping out this whole section here. Let's back up a little. So I'm only leaving the centerpiece. Looks like the lettuce is coming back. We have some garlic in here, and it's looking pretty good. It looks like we might have some scapes coming up in the center here. and so this might be the hard neck. So then the scapes, I got to keep an eye on this bed then. Good thing is it's the one right by the front. But every bed is going to get topped off. The only thing I will probably need to buy is mulch. I do have a tiny bit of mulch, but I do like, actually a lot of this is just compost. But there is like the lighter colored in here, these smaller chunks. Redwood cedar mulch I get from my local growing supply or grower. They bring it in. I think it's like, I can't remember if it's $10 or $20 a bag, but with I think like a bag or two, I get the whole thing. Anyway, that's me yakking too much, but that's basically what I want to go ahead and do in the garden. Oh, and I did top off the banana because it definitely needed it with some compost. So I think that's it for now. I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod, and we're gonna go from there. Alright, so I realized that while I was doing this is going to be probably a 2 to 3 part series. I'm not quite sure. This is definitely going to be part 1, where I clear out everything in the garden or harvest some stuff. So we have lettuce, kale, onions, and calendulas, of course. And then this is my tools. So, in case you're wondering already, no, I don't know where the heck this came from. Mom gave it to me as a birthday present last year. She says, so you can take it in the garden, have your tools. She mainly said should be for a harvest basket, but honestly all I've had in here is like tools and stuff. And because she gave me to my birthday in July, middle of July, I guess I could have used it in the fall, but I didn't really use it for harvesting last fall. So it's being used now. So that's the stuff we're taking in. We're keeping that. We're gonna have to clean up, especially all the lettuce in there. This is the second bin that's going in there, into the compost bin. I do have more bricks. I did dump in 2 or 3 bricks yesterday. I broke them up in there from the spent substrate from Long Beach mushrooms. So let me go through real quick and show you what I've cleaned out. So I may have cleaned out a little extra than what I said I would, but I'm going to just drop that in there. I'm going to top off the beds that I can. I definitely want to get rid of the dead stuff. The dead plants. And I may go back and trim some of these a little more on the bottom. That way the leaves aren't touching the soil. I'm going to definitely top this off. Although I didn't do anything to this one. The one that got the most is this one. One of the ones that got the most stuff taken out because I'm only leaving, I think, the garlic in there. This one may actually be saved for a pomegranate tree that a friend is. His parents have a bunch of fruit trees. I've met him through my music hobby, through my record collecting hobby. I've helped him get a couple records here and there, and so I actually have one on the way now. And so he says, hey, because he knows I'm a gardener, he says, hey, if you ever want trees or whatever, my parents have yada 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 yada. I said, I kind of am looking for a pomegranate because I wanted to put one in this corner along with the banana tree behind me, which hopefully will be looking better once this weather stops being so crazy. We do have a leaf in the middle, so I'm thinking this might be the pomegranate tree, and so then I'm going to take the Growoya out of there and put it into the 30-gallon that's over there. And then I may actually end up extending. I need to not redo the drip system, but I will need to add on to it because there's a main line that goes right through here, and this one is on the drip system, but because it's going through a smaller drip line, I don't get the same pressure on this bed as I do in the other ones. So I may end up cutting out a main line that goes right behind these potato containers, goes right into the bed, and then goes into the container, just like this one has for the bananas. So this one is directly on the drip line as well. Anyway, we cleaned out all the stuff that I could on here. Like I said, I'm going to go back through. I'm going to top this off with compost. That'll be in the next video. And I will go ahead and feed it as well. I have a few things I need to feed it with, or I can feed it with. I went through and I clipped out the ones on the edge. There is more stuff in there that I could probably clip, but I honestly don't have all the plants to go in there now. If I do end up taking more stuff out, then I may do it. It just depends on what plants are ready. So I clipped out all the edges. I clipped out some stuff here. Probably could do some more in there. This one I didn't touch. This is just onions. I may top this off with more compost stuff. I cleaned out some of the kale plants because they were kind of small in there. I cleaned out some of the calendula plants. I cut them back, way back, until we only have the small ones in there. And so I may seed some root veggies in there while these kale plants go crazy, because these are probably some of the better looking kale plants I've had in a while. I know that probably just jinxed it. Anyway, we have the potatoes that you guys have seen. This is probably what I'm going to use first to top off the beds. I took out everything in here except for, I think, a couple of onions. I think that, no, that's an onion. I'm going to definitely top this off. Top that off. I left the larger plants in here just because, even though they're kohlrabi, we can still eat the green leaves. It looks like kale. Even though it's kohlrabi, I mean, it's technically called cabbage. There is some lettuce in there. I'm going to leave that alone. I am going to try and top this off. I'm going to leave this one in here for now. But, for one, I am taking off the snails. I just realized that there's something in here that's flowering that isn't the borage. Oh, it's this one. Oops. There you go. I didn't clip this one out. So this is why I'm glad I grabbed my clippers. Okay. So there goes that. So then this one I'm definitely going to top off with some compost. You know, put in some BioLive and some, I will go through and clip some of the lower leaves on that one. This one I clipped back quite a bit. I'm going to top this off, feed it again, water it in. This one I think I'm just going to put in a few more seeds. But we do have some, what do you call this, garlic in here. Overall, I'm very happy with the cleanup. And that's going to be pretty much it for this video. This is you guys going to be getting the garden ready with me for the spring / summer. That's going to go in there for now. I will probably try and squeeze as much as I can of that in here. And then I'm going to probably top it off with some more of the mushroom substrate, spent substrate bricks. I'm going to water all that in, and then that, hopefully in another week or so, we'll be back down to squish down. And so that I'm just going to keep dumping stuff in there. But I think that's pretty much it for now. Alright guys, well that is it for this video. I will do another video. I'm going to start another video now on me topping off and feeding the garden. And I may do another video with transplanting in, just to get the garden started. That'll be a third part of this, with the plants that I have, because I do have some smaller, what do you call them? Not necessarily determinate, but some dwarf bush plants, and just some seeding in general. That way we can get some stuff growing. And then once the calendulas are completely out, then I can go ahead and start putting that stuff in better. I am going to try and see what I need to pot up into bigger containers, because I have some that are like in little 2-inch cups, and some of them it's still in 6-packs. And then that way we can go ahead and get that planted up. I might do another video of seeding. I need to seed, not calendula, zinnias. I have 4 or 5 varieties of zinnias. I want to put in some small ones and some different size ones, and we can put them in here. And I love all the planes flying over right at this stinking moment. But for now, this video, this is it. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell notification. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, constructive criticism, please leave that in the comments below. If you don't have anything nice to say, you know the rest of that. If you don't, please go Google that. But that is it. You guys, again, always catch me over on Instagram. I haven't been posting quite as much, but honestly, it's just been rainy. I've been busy, and it's just been a pain. And even though it's later in the day, then I still haven't been able to get out here. I just, had other stuff going on. Anyway, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.